Hotel brothers and sisters, Black Power, as always, giving honor to the Creator, giving honor to the ancestors. Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul of the Street Law Soldiers, my sister, my in-laws, my father, my subscribers, my viewers, and all of the brothers and sisters and our ancestors that are fighting for our liberation and salvation within the black nation. I have the honor today of talking with one of the greatest living scholars when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to basic knowledge. You know, y'all know how I go. You know, I deal with brothers who are generally on the front line that are doing great work, not just in the community, but within the nation. This scholar this brother is known worldwide and national as well as international. And he's the founder, owner of the Everlasting Life Health Food Stores. With no further ado, I'll give you Dr. Baruch.
What's up, brother?
How you doing?
Everything's good.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you. Yes, sir.
Now, tell the people how you actually got started, and then we're going to go into from how you got started to how important it is that we maintain a particular diet, you know, and even though right now, considering we are in a serious situation nationwide in terms of these government shutdowns, police terrorism, lack of education, obesity, diabetes, and the things of that nature. So you can just give us a rundown on all of that and educate the brothers and sisters in the nation.
Great. Well, thank you for having me on board. I appreciate you coming in and offering me the platform to be able to speak to the family. First off, giving all honor and praise to the living God and all of those who came before us and set us up to where we are today so that we can continue to strive forward in building and moving forward to keep our bloodline safe and healthy and moving forward. And likewise, we give thanks to all those who will come after us, who will keep this struggle and this fight going so that, again, we will see the end.
Yes.
I got started actually as my second grade teacher. I'm gonna zip through this pretty quickly, but she was drop dead gorgeous. You know what I'm talking about? One of them drop dead gorgeous.
Right.
And she saw me eating a pork chop sandwich, and she said, "What is that you're eating?" And her face squinched up so bad, I was like, "Oh, last thing I want to do is finish this sandwich because I can see already that you're not pleased." And I was in love with my second grade teacher. She was my wife. I erased her board. I checked her tests. I carried her bag. I brought her the apple. I was that guy.
Yeah.
If somebody else wanted to do it, I looked at him like, what? So, I had that kind of relationship with her, and she had the kind of impact that I didn't even know what she was doing with that one question that she asked me. I did not know that she was going to set me up for this. But she asked me that one question, what is that you're eating? And I said, it's a pork chop. Said, whoa, yeah, pork isn't the best thing for you. And that started it. And, I did that for like 3 years. I did no pork. I was 7. So
Wow.
7 years old. And then at that point, I realized that, the same reason that one would choose to not eat pork is the same reason you would choose not to eat beef and chicken and all the rest of that. So I stopped it all. And it's now been 42 years since I've consumed dead animal flesh.
42 years without any meat, any type of animal flesh whatsoever.
That's right.
42 years.
42 years.
Wow.
And my decision back then was selfish. I just wanted, first it was selfish because I wanted to please my woman, my wife, right? Miss Williams. And then it transitioned to I wanted to have a better quality of life. And I was watching what was happening to my family and my friends and especially my family members who were dying young, and they were dying of diseases that I could see the correlation between how they ate, because I would watch them, family reunions, you see what they're eating and so on. So fast forward 1995, I got tired of going to everybody else's, restaurant and eating their food that wasn't in my neighborhood, because nobody was offering this quality of food in my neighborhood. So I said, okay, let's do this. We're going to do it ourselves. Actually, it was after hearing a woman practicing her speech. I used to work in the IT field, and this woman was practicing her speech, and she said, if you control a man's food, you control him. And at the moment she said him, it like unlocked the combination in my brain to make me know that I no longer needed to work in the IT field, that I needed to now be about providing food for the people in my community.
Wow.
So we started doing that in 1995 in my garage, right here in Prince George's County. We expanded, got down onto Georgia Avenue, right across from Howard University, expanded up here to Capitol Heights. Now we have 3 locations. We have Capitol Heights, we have Tacoma Park, and I'm back home in Southeast. I'm in Anacostia now. And the same agenda as it was when I originally started, and that is we took healthy food, and I wanted to figure out how I could take healthy food and make it attractive to the people that I wanted to get healthy, you know. And so I wrapped it in soul, you know, and by wrapping it in soul, I knew that I was going to attract you and me. It was going to make us want to come to the table, because it was going to be like, whoa, you know, that's like fried chicken, like what we, yeah, it tastes just like what you eat, but you don't have to kill a bird to eat it.
Right.
That's collard greens like mama eat, and that's macaroni and cheese like grandma used to make. Yeah, all of that. It's just like we used to eat it. Very similar. I'm not going to say it's identical, but it's very similar, but without many of the bad elements that are causing us to have the high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and so on. And, you know, I looked up in 2004 and realized that most of the health challenges that we have were as a result of a nutritional deficiency or a nutritional toxicity, you know, coupled with all the other stuff that you and I just have to live with. We have to live with the stress of being a black man walking down the street.
Right.
You know,
right.
and that's different than any other man on the planet. Being a black man walking down the street, the stress level is different.
Absolutely.
You know? The stress level is different in our relationships. The stress level is different when we interact with officials. You know, when we interact with officials, they're the enemy. And it's not because all of a sudden, you know, they've done something right now, but it's because the history of what it is that we've experienced when we've engaged them has always been one of antagonistic, and one where we're trying to figure out how to make, you know, what we're trying to do happen or work, and they trying to oppose us and prevent us from moving forward. So
absolutely.
That stress level,
absolutely.
You know, coupled with, you know, the poor diet is what's got us suffering the way we do. You know, we don't get sufficient nutrition. So I said, okay, let's get them better nutrition. I'm not going to say that this is the optimal. I'm going to say this is better. This is a transition point. So we help them transition into eating better and getting healthier. And that's what Elife, used to be Everlasting Life. We've changed the name now to Elife. That's what it's all about. That's what we're doing.
Okay, now, let me just go here. Now, as far as the people that are dealing with, let's just talk about the shutdown, the government shutdown, the high stress levels that you were talking about, that we as brothers have to deal with. It's just a way of life now. We become numb to our brothers and sisters being murdered, going to funerals, and it's part of the norm. But what type of diet would you recommend to put, let's just say, a lot of these brothers and sisters, primarily women, that have been shut down out of the government, when they are in panic mode, stress mode, depression mode, resorting to alcohol and sometimes drugs, and they come through Elife, what would be a remedy or suggestion in terms of what you have to offer them to help them deal with or combat the elements that they're personally dealing with?
Wow, that's a great question. And I think food is a part of it, but I think another significant part of it is us. And so what I mean by that is that we need to be there to support, and they need to be able to consume us, in the sense that, you know, there's a certain calm. You know, when I'm presented with a situation, I grew up in Southeast Washington, D.C.
Me too.
And, you know, when I'm presented with a crisis situation, I'm not erratic, you know, I'm calm, I'm working it out. I'm trying to think, okay, what do I need to do? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to take out first? What move do I need to make next? You know, it's a calm response because of the challenges that I've been through already in life. Some people don't know what challenge look like. Mm-hmm. So this government shutdown looks like this is crazy. Well, meanwhile, this has been our life ever since.
Exactly.
So some of us are new to the game, new to, you know, doing this level of battle, or engaging, not even engaging battle, because we ain't engaging the battle. The battle's being engaged on us. Right. It's being waged on us. So we're now being presented with something that we're foreign to. So my suggestion is, of course, you want to eat as healthy as you possibly can. So I say as much as you can afford and have access to, you want to eat the healthiest food that you can. And the optimal case is we would have known that this was coming up. We would have started growing something in our pots and our windows already, so we could have eaten. You know, we could have had food. You know, not that you're gonna have enough in a pot to feed the whole family, but you begin that thought process in the family. You're like, wow, we grew this, and now we got 6 eggplant growing in the window, box. Mm-hmm. And we're going to eat those eggplant. They're going to nourish us, and it's going to give us, the wherewithal to sustain ourselves. But in lieu of that, their business is like ours. Elife is a restaurant, again, catering to a population of people that want to eat a better quality of food so that they can get better results in their own health and length of life. But other than that, you go into the grocery store, you go to the farmer's market, or they have many of these food bank places that you can go and grab some things. Get yourself some food. Canned food is not the best thing for you. What you want to do is get something that is natural and it's in its natural state. So get yourself some greens, some potatoes. Maybe get some onions and other vegetables that they might offer, some fruit if they make that available, and you eat those things, and you'll find that those elements, those food elements, are low in some of the ingredients that cause us to be erratic and that cause us to have a short fuse and do things that are not intelligent. So we support eating as healthy as you possibly can and have access to and can afford. And as it relates to consuming one another, we have to be there for one another. I'm in a position of strength, not because I'm some multimillionaire, but just because I position myself to be able to provide food, which everybody needs every day. I position myself, so I'm here as an anchor. There are people that come to me every day. Hey, Doc, I got this situation. You know what's up? And I'm saying, okay, well, let's talk. They tell me what the deal is, and I say, okay, well, yeah, I got something. We got you. Come give me a couple hours. I'm gonna take care. They sit in the car with the family, and that's all they got. They sit in the car. That's all they got is when we ain't living there around the corner like we used to. They moved us out of there because we couldn't we couldn't afford it. So we moved out of there. So that's where we living at, Doc. We living in the car. You got anything for the family? Yep, got everything. We got you covered. And I'm not a clearinghouse for giving away food. But when a brother comes to me, I say, all right, bet, help me clean up the restaurant at the end of the day, and I'm feeding everybody. Everybody's eating tonight. Right. We ain't got to worry about that.
Now, how often do you have those type of situations?
I'm in Anacostia, brother.
Okay, that's daily.
That was before I got there.
Right.
That's while I'm there, and hopefully, we'll be able to do some work to address that concern. But yeah, we're working to grow. To provide a viable food source to communities disserved and underserved was my original agenda. So that's what we're looking to continue to do. I take it as no small thing. Eating is not a luxury. It should be something that everybody has access to, man. We should all be able to eat.
Right.
Why is food being kept from people? And we're watching places throw away food every day. They throw it away.
Yeah, sure.
And sometimes we just don't know where to go and what to do in order to get it. The food bank is offering us food at 19 cents a pound. Sometimes we'd rather go to a 7-Eleven and grab something that's quick and easy. But when you do the math and you do the finances on it, it's like, man, if I went to the food bank, that same, $10 would have bought me 4 or 5 bags of food.
Right, right.
So it's a matter of connecting up with the right people, getting into the support network, or not only of what is offered to you by the government, because they do have some programs set up for the community, but also the support system from the community. For those of us who have the wherewithal to support them, it's not the time now to be turning people down.
Exactly.
It's the time now to say, hey, man, you cold? Well, I've had this jacket for 15 years. Let me give you this jacket. I got another one home.
Right.
Go ahead, enjoy that, brother. And don't give me nothing. You ain't got to thank me. This is what this jacket was for. Here, let me do this for you. And this is the time for us to call upon that communal, that social element that capitalism has made an enemy of, because socialism is an enemy to capitalism. It's time now for us to look at socialism and realize that's the only way we're going to survive, is that we connect up, link arms, and support one another. It ain't time for me to take advantage of your weakness. When you downtrodden and already beaten down, and I just take whatever you got and say, all right, you done. Now next, who else can I take advantage of? Now we need to support one another.
Now, aside, you know that the street law soldiers, we out there, we feed the homeless, and we work on a self budget. Our budget is, we come out of our pockets, and Queen Nzinga, she prepares the meals and cooks the food, and we go out and feed our brothers and sisters. Now, but let me ask you this for the viewers: Can black people, people of color, be destroyed by the system of white supremacy, racism, through the food, through nutricide?
Sure. Okay. Great question. First off, I, out of all due respect to all the great leaders that look like you and me, I don't feel comfortable putting the two words together, supreme and white. I don't put them together.
Yes.
So I don't do that. I think what we're dealing with is the results of an inferiority, and when you look at it from their perspective, you don't see wrong in what they're doing. From their perspective, they're about perpetuating their kind. They're about doing what is right for them, and they're about not dispossessing all that their fathers and forefathers have, stolen from everybody. They want to hold on to all of that wealth.
Right.
So I understand it from their perspective, and I'm not trying to get into that, but I do also understand it from our perspective. It's about time that we step up to the plate and stop relying on somebody who has demonstrated time and time again that they have no interest in doing anything that's going to help us just be comfortable, or even less than that, just survive.
Exactly.
If it interferes with their agenda of just maintaining basic comfort. If it interferes with that, then no, we're not going to do anything for you. So we understand. I don't have an issue with them and how they're doing what they're doing. I understand it from their perspective. But from our perspective, we have a responsibility to take care of ours. Where my responsibility to take care of ours conflicts with their, commitment to their agenda, now we got conflict. Now we got an issue. But, right now there's so much work that we have to do in-house. When we begin to connect up with one another, we begin to strengthen and build one another. We begin to restore our relationships. We begin to restore our health. We begin to restore our economy. Black people supported black businesses, there would be no black unemployment.
Right.
You look here, and I tell everybody all the time, I said, here I have 3 restaurants. You go into my restaurants, you see who works in my restaurants. No question. There's no question who's working in my restaurant. Right. So I tell people, stop supporting businesses, stop supporting restaurants, stop supporting institutions that don't hire your people. If you can't get a job there, why do you want to put your money into that system? So break that cycle, begin to support the institutions and have a say. People that support this institution have a say. Doc, I come there 3 times a week. I want to know why you can't have, mushrooms more. Well, I'm gonna start having mushrooms now. Because you have a say. You are part of the board now because you're supporting us doing what we're doing.
Right.
Okay, bet. So we're gonna do what you want us to do. You can't have a say at those other institutions. Negro, please get out of here. Yeah. But you supporting an institution that's about supporting your community. You're part of the community. We're part of the community. It's not about it just supporting a black business. It's about supporting a business that supports you. So again, all these other powers that are working against us will have less of an impact on us when we come together. And we provide that shield of protection as men for our women and children. And also we begin to forge forward with an agenda. We have no vision. We have no agenda. As a community, we don't have an agenda and a vision for moving us forward. Many of us are just trying to make it to the weekend. Just make it to the night. And that's not how we should be looking at it. We should have a 25-year plan, a 50-year plan, a 5-year plan. We should be working on something. And when we come together, we should be updating each other on what it is that we've done towards making those things happen. Again, with those things, with what is causing or allowing us to exist and be happy and build strong and whole communities and families, where those things get in the way of somebody else's agenda, well, they're going to have a problem with us. But I'm all right. I'm all right with them having a problem with me when I'm just doing what I not only have the right to do, but what I'm supposed to do. That's what I'm supposed to do. So you got a problem? Okay, now let's deal with that conflict. But these other conflicts that have been created, many of them created by the institutions that are trying to keep us from moving forward. Yeah. I find us many times getting caught in cycles where we're fighting a winless fight. It's a winless fight. Why aren't we fighting that fight when over here the babies are dying? When over here the women are dying, when the women are suffering, when the women are deciding that they need to be the man in the house, when the men have decided that they're acquiescing from the responsibility of being a man and deciding that they don't want to be the man, they want to be something else. Because being a black man, believe it or not, brother, I have calculated that being a black man in the world is about the hardest thing you could do in the world.
Right.
Amongst all the other people. Being a black man, the things that I have to calculate and think about and worry about, and the way I have to engage people, I watch other people and I'm like, man, y'all don't have to do that, do y'all? Y'all ain't got to do. You don't know what it's like to live in the body of an individual where I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know the agenda. I have to be suspicious of everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. They look like me, I'm suspicious. I got to be suspicious first. I got to qualify, check you out, make sure everything's cool. And then I let my guard down. I said, okay, yeah, you seem like you're good for now. You know, I'm still looking at you though. I'm still checking because, you know, it's a tough world out here. And we have a spiritual and a cultural responsibility. And that's what I think is challenging for other communities, because our cultural responsibility is going to bring about a level of peace and a level of a coexistence that, you know, folks in a get all you can and get over and predator kind of world, it just doesn't work. You know, so I think it's a reality that there are people that don't like us for reasons that many of them can't even figure out or define for real. They just know that that's what they were told to do. You know, and that being the case, we don't need us fighting the fight to figure out why they don't like us. They demonstrated that they don't like us, and they're doing the things that are consistent with a person who doesn't want us here. Not only doesn't want us here, but wants us erased. And that being the case, man, we got to take care of ourselves. Nobody's going to benefit from this work that what must be done for us as much as you and I will benefit from it.
Yes, sir. Now, you see, brothers and sisters, not only is Dr. Baruch a master nutritionist, he's also a master scholar that understands the plight of the black man in this country. And one final question I wanted to ask you, maybe it's two, but one is, why is it so difficult for us to support us?
Mm-hmm. I would. There's a simple answer and there's an extended answer. So the simple answer is because I don't like myself.
Okay.
And I say that and honest to you about me. I don't like myself. I was conditioned from birth to not like myself. As much as I might tell you, brother, I love myself. It's all about taking care of me and the family. I'm not going to be able to take out the damage that was done to me for those however many years that I was being conditioned through the marketing systems of corporate America, or the educational systems as given to us by the United States government, or just the cultural reality that I was placed up under. I was conditioned to not like myself. So before I can begin to demonstrate my support and love for my brother, I first have to deal with me, because you look just like me. You look like we have something in common. Right. And that's big, man. It's big when you look at how we treat one another. I'm more inclined to fight you because you stepped on my toe, but yet he's been suppressing, oppressing, depressing, erasing, annihilating, lying to, deceiving, and so on and so forth, my people ever since. How you doing, sir? How you doing? No problem here. No, you're good.
Exactly,
you're good.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you stepped on my foot. My foot shouldn't have been there, So there's something that has happened that caused us to not like ourselves. And we have that responsibility. Nobody else has the responsibility to resolve that but us. We have to begin to build the institutions of learning so that we can not learn that. Let's learn how to love ourselves first as a foundation for our community and the restoration of our community. Let's begin to support one another, and then begin to support the institutions in our community, not just black institutions, but the black institutions that are supporting us. Because if the institution isn't supporting you, then it ain't something you want to engage your time, energy, effort, put your resources into. Mm-hmm. The institutions that are supporting us, you support them. And unfortunately, sometimes it might not be a person that owns it that looks like you and me. But if it's supporting our community, we have to qualify based on, is it beneficial to my community to have this institution here? Well, if it is for right now, and it's not a person that looks like me running it, we're going to let that happen for right now. But in a minute, we're going to bring somebody else to take that job. Because we need somebody else where we have a level of confidence that they look like us, have been conditioned by us, trained by us. We have confidence in them. They're helping to build our institutions so that we can have a better quality of life going forward.
Absolutely. Now, finally, can you give the people your information, how they can reach you, with your locations, and do you have any upcoming venues for maybe the next 3 or 4 months, as far as like lectures, activities, or what have you?
Sure, we have lectures, and I'll give you the flyer. You can maybe integrate it into the video. But we got lectures every Saturday in February, where we're bringing in people to help us establish a blueprint for us getting out of the circumstance that we're in. We want to get out of the circumstance that we're in, but also we want to be able to identify the circumstance that we're in. Because many of us, we don't know what we're running from, so therefore we don't even know what we're running to. Right. Okay. So we need to understand what we're trying to get out of. And if you've ever heard of the thing called an escape fire. An escape fire is when the forest fire is all around you. You can't figure out how to get out of it. So what you do in order to preserve your own life, you have to build a fire where you are. So that fire will burn out from you. Therefore, the fire that's coming this way won't have any foliage to burn. So that's where I'm seeing us at now. We need to build an escape fire, because right now everything's on fire. It's encroaching. It's encroaching. You talked about the recent government shutdown and how many people are out of work. That's just a part of this whole fire. Stress level is high. Families are being destroyed. It's probably thousands of families that are now destroyed as a result of this government shutdown. Our families,
right?
And we always have to look at things in a me kind of way. How does this affect me? How does this government shutdown affect? I'm not worried about all of America. How does it affect me? And when we look at how it's affecting me, you realize that we're being affected more than all other populations of people, because we were the ones that was a paycheck away from being broke.
Right.
We was the one that didn't have the rent money for next month, just barely had the rent money for this month. And now, how are we gonna make this work? It's been 20 however many days, and now we're looking up, and it's crazy. But I would say, we got the work to do. So where am I now? I'm in Washington, D.C. I've got 3 restaurants. I've got here, you're inside of my televised radio station. The 3 restaurants are Elife in Capitol Heights. That's 9185 Central Avenue in Capitol Heights. It's Elife in Tacoma. That's 341 Cedar Street in Northwest Washington, D.C. And it's Elife Anacostia, Southeast. That's 1231 Good Hope Road,
yes,
over in
sir.
Southeast Washington, D.C., bringing it back home. And the way to get in contact with me is, the best way is 330 Baruch 1. That's 330-227-8241. And you can catch me on social media. I'm Dr. Baruch on all the platforms. And Elife Restaurant is how you would find me on, likewise, the businesses on all the platforms.
All right. And it's been a pleasure talking to the God, the yes, warrior. Sir. It's an honor. Pleasure, it's a definite honor, brother. Thank you. Hopefully we'll be doing some more videos. Great. Because I enjoy this. Great. And you really helped the people. Great. Because it just seemed like I wasn't even in here, that I was on the laptop watching this, getting the education. So, once again, thank you.
Thank you, brother.
And brothers and sisters, you've seen great Dr. Baruch drop it, lay the information down for you all. For those who are coming, visiting Washington, D.C., to see Shaka Sankofa and the Street Lost Soldiers, I will be taking you, part of your visit here will be coming to one of the Everlasting Life locations to meet the great Dr. Baruch and amongst some other things. So, as always, brothers and sisters, Hotep, Black Power.